This week at the University of Rhode Island, lawmakers trying to pass a bill that prohibits minors from tanning.
An app that makes dealing with emergencies a little less stressful.
Graduation is less than 3 months away, how seniors can avoid the stress.
And the first regular season A-10 basketball championship in school history.
All of that and more on this week's 5-Cent Cigar Newscast. Hello everyone, I'm Jessica Pace.
And I'm Kate Rogerson. Thanks for joining us this week.
Over 20% of college students end up in the emergency room each year. For those out-of-state students, it may be hard to get in touch with their parents when an emergency happens. One University of Rhode Island student decided to do something about it. Daniel Hollingworth has more.
An app that makes students and family feel extra safe. University of Rhode Island student Stephanie Tarian is a brand ambassador for U-Emergency, a free app for college students that gives them and their parents all the tools needed to navigate through any crisis, health, or safety situation. Tarian says that students don't realize that once they're 18, parents don't have any consent over their child. For a student that lives out of state, she says it's an easier outlet for parents to know the safety of their kid.
So a lot of people don't know that once you turn 18, your parents don't have any consent to what's going on with you. So if they called the hospital and said hey, my daughter just got brought in for an emergency, what's going on with her, the doctors would have to say, we can't tell you because there's no consent form. So that's a really good aspect of it too, especially for me, being so far away. My parents would be in the biggest ordeal that I'm in the hospital, so it gives them a chance to know.
Taking about 5 minutes to set up, the app features alert beacons and even signed medical consent forms available at your fingertips, making it extremely handy for students.
It was super easy. It took me 5 seconds to set up. You just put in your college. That was probably the longest thing, was scrolling through all the colleges. It's about as long as it takes. And then you just enter your name and your information. You can sync your contacts to it, or you can just add your contacts. So I just added mine because I only have 3 people who would actually help me if I was in the hospital. But and then you can upload your insurance card and stuff, but you don't have to do that right away.
As brand ambassador of U-Emergency, Tarian wants to spread the word of U-Emergency by encouraging students to download it because you never know when an unfortunate situation may arise.
I definitely encourage them to download it because it takes up the littlest space on your phone. It's the easiest thing, and you have it just in case you need it. And hopefully you don't need it, but it's a good option.
I'm Daniel Hollingworth, 5-Cent Cigar News.
The best way to maintain a nice summer glow is to go to a tanning salon, but a Rhode Island lawmaker is trying to pass a bill making it illegal for minors to use tanning beds. 5-Cent Cigar's Brooke McCarthy got a local reaction to this proposal.
Entering one of these tanning beds could soon be illegal for anyone under 18 in Rhode Island. Representative Mia Ackerman is sponsoring the proposed bill.
So I think it's good to kind of curb that early and let them wait a little longer before they make the decision to do something like that to their bodies.
Currently in Rhode Island, minors need parental consent to tan.
They might not be old enough to realize that these things can have long-lasting health effects, and I think it's really important to also just encourage them to feel beautiful and accepted the way they are and not try to say that they need to look a certain way.
According to studies, 17% of teens have used one of these tanning beds in their lifetime.
I mean, there's benefits to tanning and there's cons to tanning, but same thing with everything you do, you can't drink too much water, that's bad for you, but water is good for you. There's always a negative side to everything. But
Hone has customers who tan to help with acne, vitamin D deficiency, and seasonal depression. She believes there are health benefits to tanning.
because the sun is not any better for you. The sun's way worse. You can't control how much UVA, UVB you're getting from the sun. You can in a tanning bed.
Until a decision is made, minors are still allowed to use the tanning beds. Reporting in South Kingstown, Brooke McCarthy, 5-Cent Cigar News.
The high price of college tuition is no new information for most college students. However, these high prices make it difficult for students to choose between eating and paying. According to a Feeding America study, roughly 30% of students reported that they were forced to choose between food and educational expenses at some point over the last year. St. Augustine Church at URI's Kingston campus created Roadie Outpost, a Feed a Friend event that is a food pantry. This event is available twice a month, where students can bring a friend and enjoy a free meal every month.
The message is really that young people need to know that they're okay. And it doesn't matter what your faith is, what culture you come from, what your sexual orientation is, you are loved just as you are. We continue to try to look for ways to reach out to the students with food for fellowship as well as for food needs.
According to Brunel, the university has plans to put out a survey that will allow students to anonymously state if they struggle with food accessibility. St. Augustine's next Feed a Friend event will be held March 21st, 5:30 to 7:30 p.m. And another golden win for the U.S. Olympic teams as the events come to a close.
Team USA sweeps its way to curling gold. The U.S. men's curling team rode a wave of momentum all the way to gold medal victory.
They're calling it a miracle. The U.S. was on the brink of elimination. In order to win a gold medal, they had to beat three-time defending Olympic gold medalists Canada twice, Switzerland, Great Britain, and the world #1 ranked Sweden.
For the fifth straight game, John Shuster and Team USA rattled the best curlers in the world and again came away with a win for the first ever Olympic curling gold medal by defeating Sweden 10-7.
This is one gold medal out of 9 that Team USA achieved.
And speaking of winning titles, a look at your sports.
Nikki Lattarulo is live with us in the studio for the latest Roadie Sports Corner.
Rhode Island Nation, welcome back to this week's edition of Rhode Island Sports Corner. Oh wow, what a week for men's basketball. Not only are they now ranked 17th in the AP Polls Top 25, but they are also your 2018 A10 regular season champions. They clinched the title on Friday against Dayton, and luckily I was there to witness all of the excitement. Confetti rained onto the court at the Ryan Center on Friday as URI clinched the title of the A10 regular season champions. The game against Dayton started off pretty close, tied throughout the first half. URI then broke away after halftime, leading by 31 at one point. Final score of the game was 81-56. As the clock counted down to the final seconds, URI knew they did something that has never been done before. The first time to win the regular season title in URI history.
Oh man, I can't even describe it right now. Oh man, I'm just excited just for the seniors. I know this is the first one we ever had, ever. So I don't know what to say. Oh man.
This an especially special time for the seniors.
Like Coach said, this for the fans. They stuck with us when things weren't pretty years back. Just shout out to them. So it's for the school. So it was bittersweet to do it in front of them and with this team and staff, coach staff.
Now that URI has reached one of their goals, the next is winning the A10 tournament.
Please change your feeling going into the tournament.
I think we're really confident going in. I think we know we have a really good team. But this was something that pushed us all summer, all preseason. We've never won a regular season Atlantic 10 championship. It was our main goal going into the season. And now we can focus our energies on, on Washington, D.C. and trying to get our second straight, conference tournament championship.
Well, today I called a friend called Johnny Dang. I told him we needed some rings that he made last year, this year, because we the regular season champs, back to back.
And we're going to get another one, and another one, and another one, and another one, you heard?
In Kingston, Nicole Lattarulo, 5 Cent Cigar Sports. Off of that win, Jeff Doughton was the leading scorer on the night and was named the A10 Co-Player of the Week. He currently averages 22.5 points per game and had a career high of 25 points in the OT game versus LaSalle.
Yeah, I'm just so excited. All my hard work has finally paid off. With all my teammates, my coach, I want to be able to get that. So I'm very excited. And like I said, my teammates really been pushing me these last couple of weeks, telling me you can do this, you can do that. Just keep playing your game and everything else will fall through.
Hurley says he is having one of the top seasons by a point guard in URI team history. More basketball. It was senior night at the Ryan Center on Tuesday as the Rams faced St. Joe's, closing a historic chapter for those 5 seniors. An emotional night at the Ryan Center on Tuesday as fans and coaches honored 5 seniors who have set the foundation of this team just a few years ago. It was 6'8" forward Andre Berry, who's made his name as a starter this season. Guard Stanford Robinson, who's being called the MVP of the team this year. Jarvis Garrett, who is ranked as one of the top point guards in Rhode Island history. Jared Terrell, who is ranked in the top 10 for three-point field goals, free throws, steals, and games played here at URI. And E.C. Matthews, who is one of Rhode Island's most prolific scorers and is the only player that's played for URI with over 1,700 points, 500 rebounds, and 200 assists.
See Jared, Stan, all the seniors, they've been awesome. I can't wait to watch them go to the NCAA tournament. We're going to the Final Four this year. We're going to win a championship, all because of the seniors.
They're hoping this season lasts forever. But someone whose roadie career is coming to a close, URI hype man JV, has been amping up the Ryan Center crowd for 10 years. But he feels it is time to start a new chapter. 5 Cent Cigar's Stone Freeman caught up with JV this weekend.
After 10 seasons as the University of Rhode Island men's basketball hype man, John Vanner is calling it a career. The 2008 URI grad emulates the phrase, Rhode Island born and Rhode Island bred.
You know, I was pretty much born here. My father met my mother here on campus, so I grew up basically living on this campus. So, it was basically a foregone conclusion that I was going to attend this university, and, I've loved it since the day I was born.
With the Rams on the cusp of their second straight NCAA tournament appearance, the fan base in Rhodey Ruckus is more passionate than ever. But Vanner remembers this hasn't always been the case.
Some rough days where I would leave here and just not feel good about what happened, because I'm just, I love, as you can probably tell, I'm passionate about the university, but, sometimes the passion wasn't being reciprocated, and it was just me yelling by myself out there, just begging people to, make noise, cheer on the team,
Well, that was then, and this is now. The ruckus continues to get bigger, and Vanner has been at the center of it all.
I love just getting here early and watching the crowd fill in. I love that swell that happens when we're, making a push and going on a run, and the place just explodes. A big dunk. I love, playing games with people on the court. I love seeing new freshman students, and it's been crazy to see multiple classes of students come in and watch them as they grow up and graduate and then come back. So it's been awesome just seeing, creating new lifelong fans, and that's been one of the most rewarding parts.
Vanner doesn't plan on being a stranger to URI athletics. He just plans to follow his school's team from a different perspective.
But no, I'm not going to miss a game. I'm going to be, as long as I'm physically here, I'll be at every game here that I possibly can be at. I'm not going anywhere. You'll still hear me yelling, too. I'm pretty sure I'm going to start some roadie chants still. I just won't have a microphone in my hand.
Stone Freeman, Cigar News.
Another note on JV, when I spoke with the seniors, they told me some of the wins they've had at the Ryan Center wouldn't have been possible without his electric energy he brings to the arena. Women's basketball finished out their season at home with a game against Bonaventure last Wednesday. Rhode Island built a double-digit lead in the second quarter, but a late surge by the Bonnies resulted in a loss for the Rams, 77-72. Now to the ice, URI men's hockey played NYU in the first round of the ESCHL playoffs. Unfortunately, they couldn't get it done as they lost to the Bobcats 2-1. The lone URI goal scored by freshman Patrick Kramer. And that's all your sports for URI News Now. Don't forget to follow me on Twitter at Nicole Lattarulo for updates as I travel with the team to the Atlantic 10 tournament. For now, I'm live in the studio. Have a great week.
We're officially less than 3 months away from commencement, where seniors will be walking with pride and leaving with accomplishment. While getting stuck in the hype about graduation may seem great for some, but for others, it can be very stressful. I sat down with counselors at the university to see how seniors can avoid graduation stress and anxiety. Spring at URI. A new chapter for some, but for others, a bittersweet ending.
Home is also wherever you are comfortable, and I think that I became very comfortable at the university.
Graduation is just 3 months away, a reality that has brought out the best and the worst for some seniors.
Sad, happy, anxious, definitely more sad than anything. It's going to be hard. I am nervous.
URI Counseling Center Director Robert Samuel says being anxious or stressed about graduation is completely normal.
And so there is loss of what's familiar, primarily, and going into the unknown.
Definitely upset. Every time I think about it, I get a little anxious to be in the real world.
The difference between anxiety and excitement is very minimal. A lot of it is how we frame it in our minds.
Senior tour guide and orientation leader Ian Canterman is more than ready to move on.
I think it's, pretty much that time where I get to close that chapter in my life, and while I can look back on it and smile.
And while closing his own chapter, he's starting new ones for others.
My hope is that as an older student at the university, I could help them, at least push them in the right direction or nudge them in the right direction so that they can find that aha moment.
Counselors say that seniors can ease graduation stress with these tips. Get enough sleep, eat regularly, maintain a normal schedule, and talk it out with others. While anxiety can be overwhelming, seniors can also find comfort in the future.
I'm excited to see what comes out of it from what I learned at URI and all the experiences I've had so far.
No matter where I end up going or whatever it is that I end up doing after May 20th, I'm sure I will find some sort of clarity with it.
And from seniors parting wisdom to those just starting their journey.
Put yourself out there, and because college is what you make of it.
Try things. I was saying before, go out there and do something fun or different that you wouldn't expect to do.
In Kingston, Jessica Pace, 5 Cent Cigar News.
Eating simple and healthy is difficult for a lot of college students, but it doesn't have to be. Alexa Gim, a kinesiology major here at URI, showed us how to make 5-ingredient flourless banana pancakes.
Have you ever wondered what it's like to sit down with an official of URI? To get to know them on a more personal level, 5 Cent Cigars News sat down with the athletic director, Thor Bajorn.
What's your favorite sport?
I don't really have a favorite sport. I played football in college, and I enjoy it, but I really love them all. And I know that sounds like I'm giving you a political answer. I'm not. I just really love all of our student athletes, and whatever our sport I'm at, I really, really enjoy being part of.
And what was your college experience like?
As a player, and I grew up with sports being a big part of my life. My dad was a high school gym teacher and coach, and so once I found out that I went to the University of Massachusetts and I could major in sport management, I found that I loved business and I loved sports, and to be able to combine the two was great. That, coupled with playing Division I football, was also pretty cool, and made some great friends and had some great experiences.
Charlio's and Bonneview are a few names that come to mind when thinking of a fun night out. As the weekend approaches, Kaylee McCarthy hit campus to see what the latest party trends are here at URI.
The weekend is almost here, and students are ready for a nice night out. With stress levels as high as ever, students will make the big decision to go big, make it small, or stay home.
Usually a bunch of my friends go to Whalers, which is just like a local brewery.
Saturday night I usually go to Bonneview or any other bars around here. It's not too much to do around here, but I mean I try to figure it out.
Saturday nights or Friday nights I usually go to Charlio's or like a house party, and then Saturday nights I work at Bonneview.
Normally on Saturday night I go to either Chuck's or Bonneview. Last year it used to be Chuck's, but now it's turned into a Bonneview scene on Saturday, so I normally go there.
I'd have to say Bonneview because I have yet to go on the Chuck's.
Chuck's more because it's more like social, and I can actually like talk to people. I can actually hear myself, and I can hear other people really well.
This week I'm actually going to a frat party, so that's exciting.
This weekend I got the game I'm going to tonight, and then tomorrow I got a darty I'm going to with my rugby team, so it should be fun.
That's all we have for you this week. For more on these stories and everything you need to know, visit RodyCigar.com.
Don't forget to like us on Facebook and follow us on Twitter. I'm Kate Rogerson.
And I'm Jessica Pace. Thanks for tuning in and watching your URI News Now. Have a great week, everyone, and go Rody!